So I have, she gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Trump doesn't deal well with women who stand up to him. It makes little Trump Jr. go...
when the guns are trained on her face.
These dangerous and reckless comments from Donald Trump last night.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face.
Liz Cheney, whose father could bitch slap Trump even in his 80s, didn't just stand up to tiny fingers, but to 70 million MAGA hillbillies and told the world this.
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
Now Trump is saying she should be arrested and jailed, which of course is ridiculous. Trump is a criminal, and Cheney did her job, and she did it well.
Donald Trump, just weeks away from being invested with the immense powers of the presidency, calling for a criminal investigation into Liz Cheney over witness tampering after a report from House Republicans singled her out, accusing her of colluding with a witness on the January 6th committee and recommending she be investigated for possible criminal prosecution. The president-elect weighing in on Tuesday's report just 3 hours ago, saying this on his Truth social platform, quote, Liz Cheney could be in a lot of trouble based on the evidence obtained by the subcommittee, which states that numerous federal laws were likely broken by Liz Cheney, and these violations should be investigated by the FBI, end quote. 3:11 a.m. this morning. The president-elect there, referring to the report released yesterday by a Republican-controlled House subcommittee, alleging what it called, quote, the failures and politicization of the January 6th Select Committee, end quote. The report calls the committee, quote, a political weapon with a singular focus to deceive the public into blaming President Trump for the violence on January 6th and tarnish the legacy of his first presidency. Among the report's allegations against Cheney that she colluded with one of the committee's witnesses, Cassidy Hutchinson, who served as an assistant to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. Hutchinson provided testimony about Trump's actions on January 6th, including recounting a story she was told about an interaction the president had with his Secret Service driver.
The president said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now. To which Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol. Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
In a lengthy statement, Cheney refuted the report's findings. She says that it, quote, intentionally disregards the truth and the Select Committee's tremendous weight of evidence and instead fabricates lies and defamatory allegations in an attempt to cover up what Donald Trump did, end quote.
Look, Cassidy Hutchinson told the truth. And the idea that Cheney somehow suborned perjury not only sounds desperate, but there's absolutely no proof. None. Hutchinson's claims may have been hearsay, but she had firsthand knowledge of Trump's actions that day, as did a slew of Trump associates who refused to testify under oath. But as you will hear again, what did Trump do that day? Well, it was all in plain sight.
What did Donald Trump do? On January 6th, after spending months promoting false claims of election fraud, he stood on the ellipse and he said this.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. All Vice President Pence has to do is send it back to the states to recertify. And we become president, and you are the happiest people. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Okay, right there you have him. He told 5,000 people to go to the Capitol and fight.
In the hours after those remarks, this violent mob stormed the Capitol in an attempt to prevent the certification of Trump's defeat. Some rioters chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," Trump's own vice president at the time, because Pence refused to violate his oath of office.
You know what I'm hearing? The Pence just caved.
No.
Is that true?
I didn't.
I'm hearing reports that Pence caved.
No
I'm
way.
telling you, if Pence caved, we're gonna drag through the street.
But Liz Cheney never wavered in her determination to find justice. Remember, Cheney voted with Trump 94% of the time, so it wasn't that there was a philosophical difference in legislation, but Cheney, a hardcore conservative, was at least consistent with her integrity and values. She would not lie about an election that even Trump's daughter admitted he lost.
And it was being laid out there, and I told them that it was crazy stuff, and they were wasting their time on that. And it was doing a grave disservice to the country.
That affect your perspective about the election when Attorney General Barr made that statement?
It affected my perspective. I respect Attorney General Barr. So I accepted what he was saying.
So the main reason we should worry about this is where it can go and what could happen. Should Kash Patel become head of the FBI?
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
That would, of course, be like putting Trump Jr. in charge of the medicine cabinet.
You know, Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine.
Well, Patel and Gabbard and Hegseth and Vance and Comer and Jordan and the rest of this limp-dicked cuckolds will be more than happy to arrest and detain Democrats like Adam Schiff, who said he would reject a Biden pardon, or Adam Kinzinger, Fauci, and even Joe Biden. And should that be allowed to move forward, the United States as you know it, it would be gone. Republicans have been cowed ever since January 6th and traded their principles to cozy up to a malignant sociopath whose mental collapse is only exceeded by his sagging skin falling as he sheds his man girdle. In other words, the Republicans not only handed over their integrity to Trump, but their souls as well.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding.
All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough.
But it's not just Cheney and the few Republicans who stood their ground, but Trump will be going after the media as well, the MSNBC anchors and social media critics, as well as writers and opinion journalists. The question, of course, is how far can this go?
Trump's attacks on the media are making headlines and sparking new fears of retribution against journalists trying to hold public figures to account. ABC just settling for millions of dollars a defamation lawsuit brought by Trump. And news outlets are now preparing for unprecedented legal attacks against them in Trump's second term. Top lawyers at Axios reportedly warning that Trump officials will attempt to force reporters to out their sources, will ramp up lawsuits against news organizations for defamation, and could charge journalists with crimes using the Espionage Act.
The media's tamed down a little bit. They're liking us much better now, I think. If they don't, we'll have to just take them on again, and we don't want to do that.
The question is this: should Biden pardon everyone whom Trump has threatened, or should we allow this to continue and hope the courts do their job?
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
The first week after Trump is sworn in.
Hey, Trump. You.
No, the other kind of swearing. It's either going to bring a sigh of relief that Trump was bloviating about arresting Americans who opposed him, or the other side of the coin. Our country will be torn apart. And while you can blame MAGA for their lack of values and integrity, or Democrats for driving like they're drunk with their headlights off, the only person who has stood unwavering through this is the last person in the world I ever thought would be my hero. I'm going to have her back. What about you?
Damn right.
I'm as mad as hell.
This is not a normal election.
Whether the women like it or not.
Suck my fat one.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
And this guy's personal life is a total disaster.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Dan.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.